Ruel.
Could you please repeat the current position holder?
We're gonna start with Brian and then on, and then we'll switch.
Well, honestly, since it's my first year in CAS, I have really nothing to compare it to. But if I were to critique him in any way, I would say that for CAP, I really like how he brought in specific occupations. But next year's CAP, I'd like to widen that to get people more options.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this year's EVP did a great job, especially like in pubbing at past events and also Alliance events. And I like CAP too, but I think one thing I'd like to fix is just like get more general member feedback by like asking them what they want, which fields they want in particular, because I mean, it is what they want. So, yeah.
For me, I really like CAP this year, and I feel like Ron's been doing a good job. But the thing is, I believe for me, being a general member / counselor, going to CAP is like one of the first time that I actually see Ruel or like know what his position is and get to know him, or like, oh, this is the contract that he holds, that kind of thing. I feel like maybe it would be great if like Ruel would be able to like bond with general members or appear in other events or be a part of other events. Then more members can know them, or can know him better.
All right. Leland.
Okay, cool. So Tiffany, Justin, Brian, awesome platforms. The question I have is, one of the responsibilities is to look over community involvement director and alumni. Can you please evaluate and like plan, or if you guys have any plans on how you plan to like work on them in the near future?
So Justin.
Okay. I really like alumni community involvement director this year. They have the alumni barbecue that Thai Spice place, and also the community involvement director did a lot of stuff for community like Relay for Life. But I also agree that we should do a little bit more for like in terms of alumni liaison, and I'd like to work together as a team with both of them. I'd like to work for like maybe, because we are a social studies club, so I think we should also incorporate social justice issues, like maybe help out homeless Filipino veterans by holding a soup kitchen for a community, and for alumni, maybe hold like alumni lunch, picnic, get like alumni to know like next year's general members as well. And also I want to like work together to host like maybe joint meetings with like other clubs from Alliance, so like PAS, Puso, and LARC, ICCI, stuff like that. So like we can be more helpful to our general members in the future.
What I think is that I feel like sometimes when we have our alumni visiting, right? So visiting our general meetings, sometimes they make the announcements, sometimes I'm here for the announcement. But I feel like it's a great time. Sometimes we see some of them showing up at the after event when they can bond with our general members, and when we all mingle together and we get to keep the connections that we have. And also the alumni social at that Thai place was a good idea too, but I feel like we should have this event more often.
Well, as I see the current board right now, I like how they like have the events planned out accordingly. So for like next year, I would plan to work more outside our two umbrella organizations at the Cross Cultural Center and Alianza. So I'd rather work with the community involvement director and reach out to those clubs like Uncultivated Rabbits, APSA, and anyone else in the UCI community. And as for alumni, I plan on working really close with them because I feel it's important to keep that connection between past and present past members. So even something as simple as more alumni panels whenever they have the chance.
Thank you.
Milano.
So this past year, we have had strong ties with Alianza, but we are also associated with the students, associated business students within the business umbrella. How would you like to recreate that ties since we haven't had a strong tie with them this year? And what would your goals be with that group?
Are you referring to the conference that we?
I'm referring to we're under Alianza umbrella.
Yeah.
We are also associated with the associated business students, but we haven't had that much presence with them this year. How would you like when we're so associated with them? How would you recreate those and strengthen those ties with them next year as the EVP?
For that, I'm sorry.
time out. Sorry, just to clarify on that question.
Oh, just to clarify, like, EVP could generally like externalize with any organization, but it's actually CDVP's main role to network, or not network, but to interact and talk to ABS. But I mean, they both could too. But in general, they could externalize with other business associations also. But CDVP is the direct liaison with ABS.
I guess if I can like rephrase that question, how would you strengthen ties with the Alliance of Business Students, especially since this year it wasn't as active?
Especially not system.
Yeah.
An actual.
Yeah.
Can I answer first?
Yeah, you can.
For me, I will first go to their general meetings and understand how their dynamic is, and I will make appointment with their board or like their EVP to discuss our future, or like how past events are like throughout the year, and what are some possibilities of collaboration of like panels, workshops, or the things that they could help us with, or we can have a joint event together. So basically, it's to plan things ahead of time before school starts.
Yeah, I think like the only like there actually was a problem in the past was that I didn't really know about ABS until like someone told me like very recently. I didn't know we were associated with them. So one of the main things I really want to fix is like that connection to ABS. I mean, we have the connection with Alliance already. I mean, I know it was a struggle to get it, and I will try to maintain it. But if elected as EVP next year, I'll work like over the summer to meet with the board for like ABS organizations like UBA and stuff like that, and get to know them better. Go to general meetings. Hopefully plan like another conference such like MBA, which is a big conference, and also hold maybe joint meetings, because we are a pre-professional organization, and I believe that as a pre-professional organization, we can get like a lot of help and helpful feedback and tips from their like asking them for help. Stuff like that.
Well, I feel that the issue there is just maintaining communication and networking. So at the same time, I'd want to bring something to pass that makes other clubs want to involve themselves with us. So whether I cater CAP to interests in the business field or anything else that sparks what they're looking into at the time.
Thank you. Mark.
So being the next vice president of PAS, that's a pretty critical role. And leadership is a huge part of leading so many people that looks up to you. So for next year, can you give an example when you took initiative of leadership? Like a past experience in your life that, so new members would know what you're really about and what, your character is.
So, Brendan.
Well, as a personal example, I was in 6th grade when my dad went to the hospital not knowing what happened, and I found out later that he had a concussion and he was knocked out for 3 minutes. And as like the core of my family, he's the leader himself, and even though my big brother is there, he doesn't really like contribute to the family in that sort of leadership way. So growing up, I was always the one putting people's burdens on my own shoulders, and I have no problem with doing that now.
I'm only a first year student, so to be honest, I don't have that much experience at UCI for leadership. So I'll go back to my high school experience. In high school, I was part of my varsity cross country team, and I had to deal with like a lot of people, like different personalities, and what I did was like I listened to everybody's feedback, and I worked together with them to resolve issues. We worked hard, and like I kept them like motivated, and I want to like work if elected as EVP, I want to work as a team. I believe that EVP isn't an individual effort. I believe that as a team, past board should like work together to accomplish like their goals for next year, and if elected, I will try my best to do that.
Well, back in high school, I'm captain for our junior varsity volleyball team, and dealing with our members is that we all wanted to be out there and play the game. We were like being able to play varsity. So then most of the girls are unhappy about being there and then blame each other for not being good enough or holding each other back. But I was able to like talk to them individually. I think that's what I'm good at because I feel like I'm able to talk to different kind of people and then make sure how each one of them think about how each one of them works, or like how they think about other people's, or how they used to work with others. And I will try to figure out a way to bring everyone together, to bond them together, to work as a team. So that's my past experience.
Thank you. Jonathan.
In your respective positions of a counseling intern, how have you, in what ways have you guys grown in your position, and how would you apply this growth within the next position that you will get?
Personally, like getting internship pass was like really helpful for me because like it helped me gain like a lot of self-esteem, confidence. Like surprisingly, when I first came to UCI, I was like really quiet, I was shy, and like I didn't really get out there that much. So becoming an intern helped me like become more social, like helped me with my networking skills, helped me be afraid, not be afraid of like talking to people. And this works outside, like even in like academics, like I actually go to office hours, I talk to my professors now. Like I was afraid of that before, and like I feel that I can use that in this position to help like maintain connections with other organizations and build upon these connections in the future.
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
As a counselor, how have you grown, and what ways have you grown, and how would you apply this as EVP for PASS?
Okay. So coming to PASS, I don't really know what I really want to do. I look at the intern program, look at the counseling program, and I finally decided that I should run for the counseling program, because I really like making connections with people, or like bond with them, because I feel like by getting known to any one of them, you yourself, not knowingly, will grow or like take up the good parts, or like follow the good characters of that person, and perhaps help each other, and then grow together at UCI. And for me personally, I have 5 counselees, and I personally have been talk to them about their future and how school is doing, and I try to keep in touch with them with like a text or like a Facebook message. From that, it's like I got to be in a position where I'm needed, because sometimes when they have problems with resume, or they're about to go to an interview, or they want to apply for an internship, they will come to me because they know I'm there for them. It's like a sense of being needed. And since Joy, the director, has already equipped us with resume critique, interview, and all these preparation, I feel like I'm able to help them with what I'm capable of. And that's what I think I can bring to PASS next year, as like I'm open and willing to spend the time to know the people and try to help them with what I have and what I can.
Well, coming into PASS, I already enjoyed interacting with other people, so I chose counseling internship, and it was a great choice, because like besides people skills, it also helped me with my work ethic and stuff that I feel is really important when thinking about EVP, such as organizational skills, prioritizing, and just making sure like being there for the whole group.
There's some Mallory's earlier.
Since there's no president next year, how will you work with IVP to divide the presidential role?
How would you work it? All right, start with Tiffany, and then Brian, and then just
Okay, like I mentioned in my platform, that I know this is coming, so I already double checked with my class schedule next year with my counselor, And so I know my workload is, and I'm willing to work closely with IVP to discuss what are some responsibilities that we have to share and what are some possibilities that we might need help from other boards or we can actually handle it ourselves. And I'm really open and next year I for sure have time to discuss and plan for it ahead of time.
Well, as a part of PASS, I feel like I've made those connections and relationships with certain people, and I'm hoping that translates and transfers back to how I work with my fellow board members, whether it be on a professional basis or casual basis. I feel that because we have that bond, it makes our work or our efforts that much stronger.
Well, I mean, if elected as EVP next year, I will obviously like help out IVP. I will be more open to like talking suggestions because we would be if we elected as co-presidents, and so I would take into consideration IVP's feedback as well as consideration everybody else's feedback into making decisions and that influence PASS and everything else.
Noel.
Okay, backtracking on Mallory's question. How would you create a unifying vision for PASS if there's two, if you and IVP are working together? Who will ultimately have the final say? I guess when you guys are discussing the presidential roles.
Well, I feel that no one should have the final say because we're short one person on the board member. So I feel as long as we have PASS best interests in common, then we can just always find a compromise no matter what.
It's like yin and yang. There's like an EVP and then there's an IVP. I'm kind of like in between. So like, I want to take this information, their feedback, but I don't want to I don't want to dominate the discussion. I want to help out IVP and PASS board. What I can contribute is my connections as well as my judgment in making decisions. So I don't want to be the ones to be like, if needs be, like push comes to shove, I will make a decision. But if everybody else has like a firm stand on this, then I mean like, it's okay. I mean, it's what they want. I mean, it's for PASS. It's not for me. It's for PASS.
Okay, so you, EVP and IVP will be splitting the presidential responsibilities, thank you. I guess duties. And how would you prevent two opposing thoughts on a certain subject, and how would you create a unifying vision for the whole club?
Because since next year we don't have a president, so I'm pretty sure IVP and EVP will work closely together. But when it comes to decision making, I think it depends on how important the matter is. It could be as small as deciding the t-shirt design. It could be A or B, but it necessarily has to be bad for like A over B or B over A. But as a matter of like planning a big event, planning dates, planning out potential dates or potential speakers or those kind of like more of yes or no issues, I would advise alumni or PASS board members to help us with some of the planning because they're the one who's experienced and I'm pretty sure they'll be open to be there for us if we need help.
So, sorry, that's about it. Unless we have time for one.
Yeah, one more. As you know, IVP and EVP are going to be very crucial roles in PASS board next year. What are your priorities and what are the pathways?
If elected, my priorities would be, first off, I'm a student, I'm here to learn, so my first priority is academics. And I feel that should be the priority of everybody because, I mean, as long as you're here at UCI, you're here to learn, so I mean, yeah. But if elected PASS board, this would be my second most priority because it is a leadership position, especially like exec board, because of the absence of a president next year. And I would say this is my my biggest priority, aside from academics and being in Alianza clubs.
My first priority would be school, of course, because we're here, UCI students, we're here to learn. And aside from that, I think this pass will be my second priority. And even sometimes, like, I know next year I might have like a lone lab and stuff, but I'm willing to like plan it ahead of time with IVP so we don't have any miscommunication, and if she needs there, I'll be there. And I think it's just all a matter of communication, how well I prepare myself for next year.
Well, as a student, I agree that academics come first, but with something like PASS, I feel it's not only a priority, but a hobby. So it like creates time for itself, if that makes sense. I have no doubt that I will have enough time for it.
Thank you. You may have a seat now.